everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Shri FC. I hope you all are well and I hope you all are good. And today we are going to have a great discussion, good football talks, a lot of news regarding Chelsea. And tomorrow I'll be back with the Premier League show, FPL show, on the same day after tomorrow as well, with a lot of big news for you and big discussion. So people who are watching, do subscribe, do like the content, and please support the channel. It only takes one click to support the channel, and it will only motivate me to make great content for you all. So people, going to the first news today. And the first news today is regarding Emerson Palmieri. We have been knowing for a long time that Chelsea have been trying to get rid of Emerson Palmieri. Alonso at the moment is not confirmed to Barcelona. We already have Chilwell, Cucurella on the books as well. So Chelsea for a long time have been trying to sell Emerson. We loaned him out to Olympique Lyon last season, but Olympique Lyon did not sign him on permanent deal, and we were sadly stuck with Emerson. Now, West Ham have been trying to sign Emerson for a long time, and West Ham have also tried to bid. Chelsea, first of all, refused the bid and wanted a bit more from West Ham. And now it looks like West Ham have obliged. From Fabrizio Romano, one of the most reliable person when it comes to news, he has said the official confirmed Emerson Palmieri joins West Ham on permanent deal from Chelsea after medical done on Monday. 13 million fee agreed plus 2 million add-ons agreed yesterday. Contract until June 2026 with option for a further season, which implies a 4-year deal with an option to buy. And thank you for Football Creeks people. Do subscribe to his channel. Aubameyang to Chelsea is being completed right now. Meeting ongoing. Let's see what happens and hope Aubameyang turns at Chelsea. So, on Emerson Palmieri, people, he's a player who has divided opinion for a long time. Emerson is a player, people, as I told you in the previous videos, I admire. His professionalism has been very good. Unlike some other players, he did not throw a fuss. He did not create a problem. He always fought for his place, and he was a great person at the club to have. I have nothing but respect in my heart for Emerson Palmieri, and I wish him best of luck. Now, people, on terms of Chelsea, it's a very good deal. We get a 15 million prize, which could be put for Aubameyang as well. We have already got 20 million from Werner, 15 million from Emerson. We can sell one or two more players, and if we can take our selling budget to 60 to 70 million, then I think we can go on a transfer spree of 250 to 270 million. So this is a good news for Chelsea. A player who was not wanted at the club had just a year remaining. We have been able to sell him for 15 million, which is a good deal by Todd Boehly and the people involved. Now, at Chelsea, sadly, his career never reached the heights it did at Roma. Sadly, that ACL injury he suffered at Roma destroyed his career. And after that, at one time, Emerson was considered at the same level that Alexandro was. And Alexandro has also gone down in his career, but the reasons are different. Emerson sadly got an injury, and after that, he never came back to the player we know. His best spell at Chelsea came under Frank Lampard in the first 2-3 months, where Emerson was just fabulous, but he again got injured, and then after that, sadly, Emerson never came back at Chelsea, and sadly, he has now left for West Ham. Big up to him, big respect to him, and I hope he has a great time at West Ham. UCL draw में कौन सी टीम चाहिए? As City fan, I want Atletico Madrid. Has Chelsea, I want Inter Milan and Lukaku. I'm being very honest. I do want to send a statement to Inter Milan, and I do want Inter Milan people. And people, UCL content will also be on the channel soon, so do stay tuned in, people. So, going to the next news, people, and the next news is regarding Harry Maguire coming to Chelsea. Oh my God. No negotiations ongoing between Manchester United and Chelsea for Harry Maguire. He's expected to stay at Manchester United and fight for his place. No different plans on the club side too. Chelsea position always the same. They want Wesley Fofana. Now, big up Abhishek bhai in the chat. Inter Milan or Barca, Inter Milan any day of the week. I want to shut that person up at Belgium who's putting a lot of news, a lot of cryptic Instagram posts. So I do want to shut him up, and I do hope that we beat Inter. Especially Abhishek bhai. Inter Milan putting the 90 on the back of the Lukaku shirt to tease Chelsea that we dupe you of 90 million is an utmost embarrassment. And the best way to shut it is beat them at San Siro and send a statement. Now, people, on Harry Maguire, I will say one thing, people, very clear. Just read the last sentence. Chelsea position always same. They want Wesley Fofana. But people, let's say Wesley Fofana doesn't come to Chelsea. Let's say Todd Boehly at the moment is not able to pay 80 million. People, there is one more news that's coming out that Chelsea have now reduced their asking price for Fofana, and Chelsea are only ready to pay 70 million. Leicester at the moment won't agree to that, and the deal is at a standstill. So let's say Chelsea stay at their price and Chelsea say we won't pay more than 70 for Fofana, and Leicester refuse. Now Chelsea at the moment are short of centre-backs. Chalobah is being linked to go to loan. We have Aspi who is old, Silva who is old, Koulibaly who is old, and let's say Fofana deal collapses. Chelsea might just panic buy into Harry Maguire because he's also unwanted at Manchester United. Now, many Chelsea fans have been going that Harry Maguire can work in a back three, Tuchel can do wonders with him. First of all, every signing that comes to Chelsea, how Bento is signing, how you can say less exciting signing, I'll always support anyone that comes to my club. So first of all, people, let's get it right. If even Harry Maguire comes to Chelsea, I will always support him because he's a Chelsea player. And yes, Thomas Tuchel is always known to improve defenders, and I expect nothing less from him, and he can improve Harry Maguire. But for the way he played at Manchester United under 3 different managers, in Ole, in Erik ten Hag, even in the Ragnick, even before, I think sadly it's not at the level is required. Even at Leicester, Harry Maguire is a good, decent defender that should just be a good, decent defender at 6 to 7, 10 performances every time. He's not a player that is Chelsea level and a player who's going to elevate to that height. Again, I repeat, I will support a player if he signs for Chelsea, but Harry Maguire, leaving the fan banter, the fan reaction aside, is sadly not the signing that Chelsea can elevate to next level. But again, people, I'm just a simple person sitting here and talking football. Thomas Tuchel knows more than me. Todd Boehly knows more than me. Chelsea directors know more than me. So if they want Harry Maguire and they think he could be right, I am going to support it. But again and again, I will reiterate, Chelsea's first priority is Wesley Fofana. And if Wesley Fofana doesn't happen, then Harry Maguire sadly will be a panic buy. Now, will it be successful? Will be panic buy? Will Leicester reject Fofana? That is all in the air. And that's the thing, people, we just cannot predict. And he can work in a back three place. I understand, but that's an England setup. He has Kyle Walker along with him. He has Pickford at the back as well. He has got good midfield ahead of him as well. So people, this is the thing we also have to remember. It doesn't mean that because you're protected in the back three, you'll always play well. So how does Southgate plays him so well? I think it's because of the international club. You cannot compare the club football to international football. A lot of players have played so well at club level. You can even remember Guy Chiellini under Italy, who was so good, but in the league, he was sadly not at that level. So this is the thing, people, we also have to remember that club football and international football cannot be taken at the same level, in my humble opinion. Now, going to the next news, and this is about Callum Hudson Odoi, and this is one of the biggest news today, people, that Callum Hudson Odoi is closing in on a move to Bayer Leverkusen on a season loan. Now, also, there's a bit of doubt in Chelsea Twitter whether he will go on with an option to buy, or he will go with an option to buy permanently, or with no option. So that is the thing, people, we all are very unclear of. Callum Hudson Odoi for me is a player who has deceived to impress, but he's still very, very talented. A player I still rate very, very highly, and a player I think has really not matched the potential that we thought of him. Injury has played a big part. That match against Burnley, that injury I think has stepped his career 2 years back. He was very good before injury, but I think Maurizio Sarri was right to be patient with him. But the fans were angry, he was played, and whenever Hudson Odoi played, he reminded me of Eden Hazard, a hybrid young player, talented, can dribble, but once an injury stuck in, that pace went away, that confidence went away, and now Hudson Odoi sadly has become an average player that is played at right wing back, that is played at left wing back, that is played at right wing, that is played at left wing, because at the moment, he is not able to even do one thing right. But this loan could be a blessing in disguise. He needs confidence. He needs regular game time to build the confidence, to build the momentum, and all the other things that Callum Hudson Odoi needs. This could be a good loan where Chelsea can rely on other attackers, with Aubameyang coming, Broha being there, Mount, Pulisic, Havertz, and Callum Hudson Odoi can go to Bundesliga, the league, known to develop attackers, can do well at Bayer Leverkusen, who play very, very good football, can play very well for Bayer Leverkusen, and then come back to Chelsea as a better player. He is still a player who is very talented, whose one freak injury really disrupted his momentum. People, one injury should not decide that Callum Hudson Odoi's career is finished. His career is still very much alive, and he can still come back to the player we know. At the moment, he just needs chances to play regular game time with less pressure on his shoulder. When a player plays for Chelsea, the whole world sees him. The whole world either praises him or abuses him. That's the way, sadly, big clubs revolve. And at Chelsea, he has to put straight away a 10 out of 10 display or he's dropped from a lineup. Going to Bayer Leverkusen, less pressure. The league, which offers attackers much space, can be a very good loan deal for Callum Hudson Odoi. And people, he can take the next path in his development. And I do trust him. And I think this is a good loan deal for all involved. He should have been gone on loan last year as well. I did not understand why Chelsea did not loan him last year. But it's good to see Chelsea have realized. And I think extend his contract and send him on loan to develop his game and then come back to Chelsea next year as a better player. Taking some chats here, and English players going to Germany, especially forward, do very well. Very, very, very correct. I think in German Bundesliga, there's a lot of space to work in. The players really enjoy the space they get to play. And Callum Hudson Odoi, for me, needs love, needs time, needs patience. And at Bayer Leverkusen, there won't be fans hounding him. There won't be fans who will be after him at one bad game. He will also have a good space to work in. And this could be a good loan, which finally might get Odoi to the potential we know he is very capable of. So people, going to the next news now. And the next news is regarding Everton and the money they want regarding Gordon. And overall, the Gordon rumor that's been going around for some time as well. So Everton want more than Chelsea's bid of 50 million plus 10 million in difficult add-ons for Gordon. Now, difficult add-ons, you can say, might include winning a Premier League, might include Champions League and all that stuff. That's to the directors as well. Frank Lampard is convinced he could be worth more than in 6 months' time. People, you have to remember that Everton at the moment are keeping Gordon. I don't agree with this statement that Frank Lampard is convinced he could be worth in more time. I am not agreeing with this statement, people, because I think Everton are loving it if they can get the 50 million for Gordon. The problem for Everton is they have no backup to Gordon. The problem for Everton is they're fighting for relegation. And the biggest problem, people, for Everton is they are in danger of getting relegated if they let attacker go and they don't develop. This is why, people, it's very important for Everton Football Club to keep Gordon. And this is why I think Frank Lampard, I think in his right mind, knows Gordon is nowhere worth more than 60 million. Do not tell me that Frank Lampard thinks that Gordon is worth 100 million, because that is the worst thing I'll ever hear in my life. I think Frank Lampard is more concerned that when Gordon goes, Calvert-Lewin is injury prone. He just does not have the attacker. And people, I'm being very honest with you. The people who have subscribed to this channel know this, that Everton at the moment are trying to include some players in the deal. These are all just rumors. And I think, people, Everton want Chelsea to offer them some players. If Chelsea offer them Broha, Gilmer, or a Batshuayi, especially Broha or a Gallagher, I think Everton can agree. People know that Frank Lampard has been asking for a long time for the services of Conor Gallagher, or the services of Armando Broha, or the services of Billy Gilmer. If Chelsea even offer Everton one player permanently or a loan, I think Everton will sell Gordon immediately. They just need a replacement, which is sadly not available in the market. People, you need to also be very honest with yourselves. If Everton sell Gordon for 60 million and then they go in the market to find a replacement, the seller will absolutely roast them and ask them to pay the Gordon money they just got right now. They could be humiliated in the market because they got 60 million from Gordon. So that means they're not cashless, and the seller will try to get the most money possible from Everton. So this is why they want the favor for Chelsea. So they get a player from Chelsea, and attackingly, they're not short of players this season. So, taking some chats. Hello, Shoaib. To be honest, good for CHO, as he can do pretty well in Bundesliga. So big up to RMA and MUFC Ultra people. Do subscribe to his channel. He's a Manchester United fan, and I fully agree that Hudson Odoi will do fantastic at Bundesliga, people. They want Broha or Gallagher in exchange of Gordon. Agree. I think that's the thing they want, or Gilmer as well. I think they have to play Alex Iwobi in the midfield, people, which is an absolute disaster. I think they want Broha, Gallagher, both even, or even a Gilmer. That's the thing I think I want. You are seeing Gilmer train with the academy boys as well. Sadly, it looks like Tuchel is not preferring Gilmer, and Gilmer just might be involved to sweeten the deal. Now, people, going to the next news today. This is about Tottenham Hotspur, and they are ready to rival Ajax for Hakim Ziyech. Antonio Conte's side are looking to discuss a move for the Chelsea winger this week. Now, people, as much as Tottenham have signed Richarlison, they are still very short on a proper winger. Perisic has been signed to play at the left wing back, and they are very short in the winger department. One injury, God forsake, doesn't happen, but if Kulusevski is injured, they will be absolutely short on wingers and can struggle. And a team which has players of quality of Harry Kane, players of aerial ability like Richarlison will love Hakim Ziyech pulling those crosses into the box and them enjoying finishing those chances as well. So people, we need to be very honest and have a proper interaction that Hakim Ziyech makes a lot of sense for Antonio Conte to sign. But now coming to the most important part, Chelsea do not deal with Tottenham Hotspur. And until Tottenham pay Chelsea the best price, Chelsea will never sell a player to Tottenham Hotspur, and Tottenham Hotspur will never sell a player to Chelsea. Especially what happened with Luka Modric when Tottenham did not sell him to Chelsea, what happened with Willian, even what has happened with Harry Kane, who Chelsea wanted to try to sign, but Daniel Levy never allowed him to go to Chelsea. I think both clubs hate each other, and this deal is absolutely out of question, people. Now, overall on Hakim Ziyech is a player, people, I admire. His professionalism has been good. He's a good player, got some good crosses in him, has a good shot in him. But people, his game in terms of Premier League at least is very limited. He's not very quick, and this is why he's not one of the best dribblers, and this is why he struggles in the Premier League. And Hakim Ziyech needs a striker to function very well. Sadly, Chelsea have no striker at the moment, and this is why people, Hakim Ziyech has been struggling at Chelsea Football Club. So this is why it makes a lot of sense for Hakim Ziyech to go from Chelsea, have a good time, have a good place somewhere, big up to him as well. But Chelsea sadly have no natural number 9. Aubameyang is not an aerial duel winner, and this is why I think Hakim Ziyech's career is better elsewhere as well. Now, going to Fofana, people, and this saga is dragging beyond acceptable limits now and is getting frustrating. Chelsea is also playing Leicester City this week, people. What a surprise. Chelsea FC is playing Leicester this week, and people, that is just the best point. I thought that Chelsea can sign Fofana before Leicester, and the biggest and the most furious thing for me will be Chelsea dropping points to Leicester and then Leicester increasing his price tag because they know Chelsea will panic and they will say, oh, but you lost to us, your season could be bad, pay us 85-90 million. So it's very important for Chelsea to smash the heck out of Leicester so that they do not increase the price of Fofana. Now coming to this news, it's not over yet for Fofana. Wesley's pushing to join Chelsea, and people, we know it from a long time. Wesley Fofana has been following a lot of Chelsea players on Instagram. He has also been dropped from the Leicester lineup by their manager, Brendan Rodgers. He has also been putting some cryptic posts as well. He is also unhappy with Leicester as well. So people, Wesley Fofana is doing everything he can to agree a move to Chelsea. It's his dream and obsession. So negotiations are expected to continue after 70 million bid turned down. People, before the start of today's video, I told you that Chelsea have reduced their price for Fofana, and Chelsea have said to Leicester, no guys, we won't pay you 80, we pay you 70. Now it's up to you. So people, this is a twist that's come in the deal. Chelsea have reduced the price from 80 to 70 million, and this is where the deal is dragging on. And this is where either these links are being made up or these are real in Harry Maguire. So talks are still ongoing with intermediaries in order to find the best solution possible for everyone involved. Now, another news of Fofana, people, is this. Brendan Rodgers speaks about Chelsea's ongoing pursuit of Fofana. The player clearly wants to go, and it's about the clubs finding an agreement. And I think once that happens, it will be resolved soon. And people, this is why Leicester City manager Brendan Rodgers. People, Brendan Rodgers dropped Fofana in the last game as well. And Wesley Fofana sadly looks like that he won't be played at Leicester City until the transfer window gets over. You can see here that he has been very clear that Fofana will only be played once the transfer window ends. And clearly Brendan Rodgers says that both clubs are going for an agreement. I think this is the biggest proof that Chelsea's current bid has been rejected and it's up to Leicester to accept it or not. People, before I go to the next news, I will tell you one thing for sure, that Leicester City are in big financial crisis when it comes to signing players. If Wesley Fofana is not sold, Leicester City might just not sign a player this window. And with Kasper Schmeichel going as well, the side not looking as good as they've been, Leicester needed Wesley Fofana money to reinvest in the squad. And with rumors coming about Maddison extending a contract, Vardy has already extended contract, Leicester do need a lot of new players. And this is why people, Leicester do want to sell Fofana and want to invest it in the different part of the squad. But sadly, at the moment, Leicester are being very careful because first of all, they are one of the best selling club in the league. Number second, Leicester people are very, very careful because let's say Leicester get 70 million for Chelsea for Fofana and they go in the market to find a replacement. The seller is going to say, you got 70 from Chelsea, pay us the best price. And Leicester are afraid that if they get 70 million for Chelsea, the club in the market will rinse them for money because they suddenly got a big, big cash influx. This is why for me, people, Leicester wanted Colville for Chelsea, but Colville has gone to Brighton to sweeten the deal for Cucurella. And this is why I think Leicester in private are not able to find a replacement. And this is why, people, the deal is taking more long than expected. Now, going to the next news, people, this is about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I believe, as per Fabrizio Romano, I believe the Aubameyang deal is a strategy game. Chelsea know, like you all know, people, the thing is, we all think transfer window is more like a FIFA, it's more like a simple football manager. It's not like that. Transfer window is one of the most diverse things in the world, and the negotiations, tactics involved in that, the PR, the media is beyond our proper thinking or beyond our limited thinking. I believe the Aubameyang deal is a strategy game. Chelsea know Barcelona need to register Koundé because, people, this is very, very real. Just think, Barcelona have signed Koundé from Chelsea. Koundé has been one of the most talked about defenders, and suddenly they cannot even register him. Just think how Koundé is going to feel. And this is why Chelsea are trying to take advantage. They know Barca need money. So what Chelsea are trying to do is tell Barcelona, oh, you need money to register Koundé, no problem. Take the money, take 15-20 million, register him. But Barcelona are also getting greedy. They say they know that Chelsea need Aubameyang desperately. Chelsea are struggling in the league. Chelsea are struggling for goals. So both the clubs are playing strategy with each other. Chelsea are trying to rinse Barcelona because Barcelona are cashless and Barcelona need to register some players. So Chelsea are trying to play a game with Barcelona. But Barcelona are not fools, and Barcelona are saying, oh well, you've got Kai Havertz struggling right now in attacking duties. You have got your team struggling to score goals. So why are you trying to rinse us? We'll rinse you. Pay us the money and agree the deal. And this is why, people, this deal is getting dragged on. Chelsea know Barcelona need to register. We talked about this. Barca know Oba is Tuchel's priority and are asking for 30 million. This is the thing, people, I've been telling you. It's a chess game. And I do think, like Fabrizio has said, I believe that 20 million will be a fair price. And both the clubs will agree in that regard. And Obama blood clown young, welcome to Chelsea, people. And Bernardo Silva playing at Camp Nou. This is going to be interesting, people, today, because this guy has been rumored to join Barcelona and nobody knows if a deal is possible today. And PSG City, but for Manchester City, not Barcelona. Even Bernardo is not quick, but a great dribbler. So is Mahrez. I agree, but I think it's not to do with quickness. Hakim Ziyech is sadly not known for his dribbling as well, and his biggest aspect is his crossing and the shooting game. Now, people, going towards the next news, and the next news is regarding Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha has been discussed as a possible target for Chelsea, although Palace will seem unlikely to sanction a sale this close to transfer deadline. Now, people, in my opinion, I don't agree with this rumor as much as it's reliable, because I think Chelsea are heavily going for Aubameyang. Now, people, the thing that I want to talk with you all is, at the moment, these all targets are Tuchel-driven targets. So one thing, people, I will sure want to say is Chelsea are heavily after Aubameyang. But at the moment, if Broha goes to loan, if Hudson Odoi goes to loan, Chelsea might just be left with Pulisic, Mount, Havertz, Sterling and Aubameyang, and 5 players playing for 3 positions. So do not even rule out Chelsea signing a winger, especially Chelsea, let's say, sign Fofana, let's say Chelsea sign Aubameyang for 20 million, and let's say Gordon deal falls off. Let's for 1 minute say that Chelsea signed Fofana, Chelsea signed Aubameyang, but the deal for Gordon, but the deal for De Jong falls off, which leaves Chelsea with a lot of money to spend as well. And this is why Zaha might work for Chelsea. People, the thing with Zaha is multi-dimensional player who can play in a lot of positions. He can play on the wings, he can play as a striker, he can play as a right wing, and he can even play in a 2-striker formation. Now, people, giving my humble opinion to you all, if you ask me, Wilfried Zaha or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, people, I will take Wilfried Zaha any day because he's one of the most underrated player in the league. The attributes he has got are beyond people's imagination, and we do not respect him a lot. So, people, for me, he deserves his respect, he deserves his share, and people must respect Wilfried Zaha more. But I want to say one thing, people, for you all, that I will always back what Thomas Tuchel wants. I'll always back my manager. And this is why, people, Thomas Tuchel, I back Thomas Tuchel, and this is why if Thomas Tuchel wants Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I will back him. But I will say one thing, just like every fan, my opinion is Wilfried Zaha is a better signing for Chelsea than Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang or a Depay or even a Tony. I love Wilfried Zaha. He is the best player we need right now. But now I give you my overall opinion, and I'm just a simple person talking with you. And overall, I will say one thing. I back Thomas Tuchel. I love Thomas Tuchel. And people who are watching and are subscribed to this channel will know how much I love my manager. And this is why if my manager wants Aubameyang, then I'll back it. And Aubameyang is also a player who is very, very good. But just I rate Zaha more. And in the end, if Aubameyang doesn't work, the accountability will be with the manager. Now, people, I do agree that Palace don't want to sell him. But let's be in a hypothetical world that Chelsea are not able to sign Aubameyang. Then Chelsea just might use Broha as a leverage to get Zaha. Only thing, people, I will say is Wilfried Zaha deal is only possible if Aubameyang falls off or if Gordon falls off. Other than that, there's no chance Chelsea go for him. These are the only two scenarios where Chelsea just might sign Wilfried Zaha. Taking some chance, people, and Zaha is important for Palace, but I don't think they will let it go. I do agree, but I will say, Danish, by one thing, that money does speak in words. Many people, many clubs don't want to sell any player, but once that money comes in, many are ready to sell a lot of players. Yes, Palace at the moment will prefer to not sell Wilfried Zaha, but if Chelsea pay the right money or any club pay the right money, I'm telling you, Palace will be straight away selling him. But the thing is, the deal is only possible for Wilfried Zaha if Aubameyang falls off. And the only way Crystal Palace will agree is if we involve a striker, and that's Broha. Now, people, before moving to the next news, it just takes one click for the people watching. Please show some love. Please subscribe to the channel. It's just one click, one love, and please support the channel. It's my humble request to you all, people. And love you all and hope you have a great day, people. And going to the next news. The next news is regarding Juventus have decided to not sign Memphis Depay. And people will say, oh, but this is Chelsea talk. Why the heck are you covering Barcelona? But people, this news has a big part to play in the Aubameyang deal. Please, people, understand that this deal has a lot of part to play for Chelsea to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, people, being very humble with you, I will going to tell you one thing. Now, Aubameyang and Depay, selling them both is not possible for Barcelona, and Xavi does not want this to happen. So, selling both of them is out of order. So, that's already one good news for Chelsea, that Aubameyang or Depay, one of them is going to stay at Barcelona, and because one of them is going to stay at Barcelona, the other might leave to get some cash for the club. So this is why first reason it helps Chelsea is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang now most probably go because Depay might stay and be a cover to Lewandowski. That's the first good news for Chelsea. Now the second good news for Chelsea is people, Barca do need cash. Frenkie De Jong deal is dragging. They have been spending a lot of money. They need to register players and also clear themselves from financial problem. So they do need money, and they also need to clear a lot of wage structure they have got. Now because Depay has not gone to Juventus, they will have to even pay Depay wages and keep him at the club, which also eases the deal for Chelsea to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And this is why, people, it's becoming very, very easy now for Chelsea to sign Aubameyang. All the stars are falling for Chelsea to sign Aubameyang, and it's good news to finally getting a deal done, and it looks like it's very, very close to happen, people. Taking a bit of caution. Haha, you never know. If City's playing, is highly likely a two European will be against Europa League. Let's see that. And now, the next news, people, is about a player that's being heavily linked to Chelsea. Not just this year, he's also being linked to sign for Chelsea next year. The future signing for Chelsea, one of the most important signing for Chelsea in the future they're trying to get is Rafael Leao from AC Milan, a player who helped AC Milan a lot last year to win the Serie A. People watching, please, I'm saying, please just do subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot, and please support the channel, people. So, Rafael Leao is yet to pay Sporting Lisbon the 16.5 million he owes the club. So that's the number one factor, people. And people, this news has a big implication on the next club signing him. Now, Gazeta has reported that Rafael Leao is yet to pay Sporting Lisbon the 16.5 million fees he owes them after terminating the contract with them. In 2018, while Lille owned a 15 million resale clause. People, we know about resale clauses. If, let's say, Rafael Leao is sold for 90 million, then at least 15 million of those around will be owed to them. And this is where, people, the deal gets very interesting. If the calculation is wrong, I apologize, people. Add that to the fact that Jorge Mendes is his agent and Chelsea will have to pay a huge amount of money. This is a big part, people. And this is just like what Frenkie De Jong saga is. First of all, he owes his previous club 16.5 million, just like Frenkie De Jong and Barcelona deferred wage structure is going on. So, first of all, any club trying to sign him might have to pay the 16.5 million to Sporting, the first red flag in the deal. Second is, while Lille own a 15 million resale clause. Now, people, where the problem is, let's say AC Milan want to sell him, and let's say AC Milan want to sell him for 100 million. Now, the 15 million resale clause gives AC Milan 15% less money. Let's say Rafael Leao goes to Chelsea for around, you can say, 15. Now, the problem is that AC Milan will only get around 45 to 50 million of the deal, while the other will go to Lille. This will make AC Milan increase the price, which will only cause a lot of problem. So, because of the resale clause, AC Milan will only sell Rafael Leao at the highest price possible. And because of the Sporting money owned, Chelsea might just have to pay that money to sign Leao. And this is why, people, signing Leao at least this summer is a tall order. And people, I do not see in any way this deal is going to happen, being very honest with you, people. Now, people, going to the next news today. And this is about Christopher and Cuckoo. Christopher and Cuckoo from RB Leipzig, though I'm told is a real priority target for next summer. And he is the one that Chelsea want to bring in. Todd Boehly has already held meetings for Nkunku to sign for next summer. People, we have been knowing for a long time, this was not just under Todd Boehly ownership, even under Roman Abramovich and Marina Ganabuskia. Before the sanctions, Chelsea were heavily, and welcome to another fellow Chelsea fan, Chelsea Blues, big up to you, sir. And people talking about Chelsea here and telling you that Roman Abramovich and Marina Ganabuskia, before the sanctions arrived, were heavily going for Nkunku. Even Liverpool were going for him. A lot of other clubs are going. And Cuckoo is one of the hottest prospects in the market right now. And everybody, people, wants to sign him. Now you can see here that he has been priority for Chelsea, not just under the current ownership, but even the previous ownership as well. So you can see here that Christopher Nkunku is available next year because of the release clause at a very good price, at around, I believe, 60 to 70 million, which is much better than paying around 120 or 30 for him right now. So this is why Todd Boehly is looking at Nkunku as a future signing. And this is why, people, we have to understand that current transfer Chelsea are doing are also trying to do to solve Chelsea's short-term future. Aubameyang is being signed because Chelsea want to solve the short-term attacking crisis before they go for players like Nkunku and Rafael Leao. Now, people, being very honest with you, now many people have been saying on why Chelsea are not signing Ivan Toney, why Chelsea are not signing Wilfried Zaha, why are we going for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, why are we not going for Pedro Neto? People, the answer is very simple. Chelsea's future targets are Rafael Leao. Chelsea's future target are Christopher Nkunku. And because Chelsea don't want to pay big right now, Chelsea are going for short-term solutions while solving the centre-back crisis, the left wing-back crisis in form of Koulibaly, Cucurella, and now in the form of Fofana as well. So now, people, going to the next news for you all, and this is regarding Ethan Ampadu. According to Sky Sports Italia, Spezia are close to reaching an agreement with Chelsea over a loan deal for Ethan Ampadu with an option to buy. My thoughts? Disaster. He is one of the most underrated youth players at Chelsea who has always been disrespected. Now, people, I don't know what goes on training ground, so Tuchel might have his own reasons to leave him out. And I love Thomas Tuchel a bit, and I trust Thomas Tuchel. But people, treatment of Ethan Ampadu by just not Thomas Tuchel, by Frank Lampard, by Maurizio Sarri, and all the Chelsea managers has been nothing short of an absolute disgrace. This guy is very talented. He can play at DM. And let's be brutally honest, Conor Gallagher is much more of an attacker. But Ethan Ampadu is a much better pivot player than Conor Gallagher will ever be. And Ethan Ampadu could have worked fantastically with Jorginho against Leeds United. Ethan Ampadu can play at the centre-backs and provide a cover. Ethan Ampadu can play as a DM as well. Ethan Ampadu can even play at the right side. Ethan Ampadu can even play at the left side of the centre-back. He can even play sometimes instead of Thiago Silva. He was having a good pre-season, impressed. And I don't know why Chelsea are doing this. When even Trevor Chalobah is going on loan, we don't even have a cover. Why are we trying such a talented guy leaving? This could literally end up like Fikayo Tomori. And this is a very bad deal, people. I love Thomas Tuchel. I love his talent ID. And I respect him. So this is why I'm going to back my manager. But I do hope that it does not turn out a disaster. That in the past, Chelsea will regret it in the future and think, why did we loan Ethan Ampadu out and let him Spezia buy him permanently? And Spezia people are more to a near of the bottom of the Serie A. They are more like team who finishes from 11th to 20th. So this could be a good deal, a good, you can say, step up from Venezia for Ethan Ampadu. Now, people, I've covered all the news for you, and now I'm going to recap all the news today that we discuss about before we end the video. So, people, starting from the first one today, and the first one was regarding West Ham United signing Emerson Palmieri. So, going on Emerson Palmieri, people have a lot of respect for him, and I think this is a good deal for all the party involved. Chelsea get the 15 million, which can be reinvested into other players as well. This money could literally be used to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, and along with that, Emerson finally goes to a club that will play him more regularly, and this is a good deal for both parties involved. On final note, big up to Emerson, great professional, and I have nothing but respect and love for him, people. Now, next news is Harry Maguire, and people, do not read the above part, just read the below part. Chelsea position, always the same. They want Wesley Fofana. But, again and again, people, I'll use the word but. Let's say Wesley Fofana deal collapses, Trevor Chalobah goes on loan, Ethan Ampadu goes on loan, and Chelsea are only left with Thiago Silva, Kalidou Koulibaly, Reece James, Marc Cucurella. Chelsea are left with Cesar Azpilicueta, where Reece James is right wing back, Cucurella is left wing back, Thiago Silva is 38, Koulibaly is around 32, Azpilicueta is around 31. That is a recipe for disaster, people. And because if Fofana deal collapses, Chelsea might just panic buy and pay Harry Maguire the money or on a loan deal. And people, that's the only way I'm afraid of. Overall, people, I'll only say one thing. Whether you like Harry Maguire, whether you don't like Harry Maguire, if my manager wants him, if he signs for Chelsea, I'll always back a player that signs for my club. But now, because currently he's not a Chelsea player, I don't want Harry Maguire. And I do say Chelsea should pay 70 million for 21-year-old Fofana, who has a much higher ceiling than what Harry Maguire has. But people, on final note on this thing, it depends on Fofana deal. And if Fofana deal collapses, do not be surprised. Chelsea panic by Maguire. And yes, people, Maguire can do well in a back three. And yes, people, Thomas Tuchel can improve defenders. And I'll always back Chelsea signing. But I just don't think Maguire is at that level that a club like Chelsea requires. But again, I'm just a simple human being. Tuchel, the directors know more than me. So, next news, people, is about Callum Hudson Odoi, a person I've always admired, a person I thought could be the next breakout star at Chelsea. But sadly, injuries have ruined one of the most important talent for Chelsea, and injuries have ruined a great player for Chelsea who could have been a big part of us. Callum Hudson Odoi, people, is a person who will always go as a player who had a lot of potential that remained unachieved. And that's the way with Callum Hudson Odoi. He came at Chelsea under Maurizio Sarri. Yes, fans were a bit too over-urgent and too much critical of Sarri. But Hudson Odoi did a good job, came in, played well, reminded me of Eden Hazard, played so well, took on players, that pace, that dribbling, the way he made an absolute cupcake of Bellerin on the friendly was something I'll never forget. But he got that injury at Burnley, was out for 1 year, came back and was never the same player. Somehow Frank Lampard extended his contract, but after that also he has not looked at the level of the player he was. Thomas Tuchel came in, he played good in the first 3 or 4 games at right wing back, but after that he was dropped, and after that he has never come back at Chelsea. And if you see properly, Thomas Tuchel has really played him in the front three, and whenever he has played him in the front three, Callum Hudson Odoi has sometimes not been able to take on players, struggling to dribble, and people, sadly, we have to accept that injuries have made him lose his confidence and made him lose some of the pace. And the best deal for both the clubs is to extend the contract, keep him at the club, but give him on a loan spell, let him have some regular game time, because Callum Hudson Odoi can be a player that Chelsea sell, and we can literally regret it like we regret Salah, De Bruyne, Lukaku. Now, he's not at the level of Salah, he's not at the level of De Bruyne, he's not at the level of Lukaku, but he's still a young kid who has a lot of talent, and we can literally pay for it big if he becomes a great star in the future. So it's better for both the parties to agree a contract, extend the contract by 1 year, and send Callum Hudson on loan to Bundesliga, to Bayer Leverkusen. Attackers do a lot of well there. Bundesliga clubs are known to develop attackers, as well as he will also have regular game time, because it's not as big as Chelsea are. It's not as big as a pressure Premier League is. There won't be fans hounding him out of one bad performance, and that will be good development for Callum Hudson Odoi. So, on Frankie, sir, I don't think that's happening, but you never know. a surprise bid in the end can come, especially with Kante and Kovacic being injury prone. And Sagni by saying, no, I do agree. But people, you should always be ready for a surprise in transfer market because Kante and Kovacic is sadly injury prone. And Chelsea midfield is sadly becoming a concern because Kante cannot stay fit. He can only play 1 game in 3. And Kovacic is also getting injured more than acceptable level. Now, next news, people, is regarding Everton. We discussed about this. This is a recap. Everton people want around 50 million plus 10 million add-ons for Gordon, which is very, very expensive. I will only say one thing. I back the manager. So if Thomas Tuchel loves Gordon, give him Gordon. And Gordon is a 21-year-old. So it's a very, very less risk signing. But yes, if he fails, all the accountability will be on Thomas Tuchel. But people, I do want to highlight the last part of this information. Frank Lampard is convinced he could be worth more than this in 6 months' time. Frank, I love you. But do you really think Gordon is going to become a 90 to 100 million player? At the moment, I don't think so. I think people, this deal is being dragged because Everton at the moment are trying to find replacement for Gordon. And they're afraid that if Chelsea gives them the high price, the market will rinse them for a high price as well. And this is why Everton are trying to negotiate a deal with Chelsea where they can replace Gordon by either Conor Gallagher or they can replace Gordon by Armando Broja. So people, if Chelsea offered them some players, the deal will be done and dusted. And here we go, we'll be there very, very soon. Now people, going to the next news, that's regarding Tottenham. And I discussed about this. Hakim Ziyech is a player for me, people, who is limited but also very talented. He's still one of the best crosser. He's still one of the best shooter in a team. And he's still a player who is one of the most beautiful players to watch in a team as an attacker and has got a lot of things in his game. Good hitting, good ability, good crossing, good passing. But he's very limited when it comes to Premier League. Sadly, he needs a striker to fulfill his potential. And Chelsea have no proper striker right now. And Premier League is very, very quick for him. The best displays of Hakim Ziyech have come in Champions League. And in Champions League, Chelsea get a lot of space to work in, a lot of time. But in the Premier League, against the bottom teams, where you have to break down the low block, neither Chelsea have a striker, neither Hakim Ziyech is quick, neither Hakim Ziyech can press a lot of players. And that is the only concern. And this is why I think it's best for both parties to leave and have a good time. And big up to Hakim Ziyech as well. But Tottenham makes a lot of sense because he could be the backup to Kulusevski as well. And also give his services of crossing to Harry Kane and Richarlison, who are 2 proper strikers. But Chelsea never ever deal with Tottenham Hotspur. So in that regards, people, I do not see this deal happen. And Chelsea to try their luck on Fulham striker Mitrovic. The striker Mitrovic scores at least a goal in every 2 or 3 matches. He can solve. I do agree. Mitrovic, sir, I do agree. Mitrovic is a player I've always admired. But I do think Chelsea are trying to back the Thomas Tuchel, the manager. And the manager has clearly said that he wants Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And this is why I think Chelsea are backing him. People, being very honest with you all, Todd Boehly wants to sign Cristiano Ronaldo. Todd Boehly really wants to sign Ronaldo because he will solve a lot of marketing concerns, will give Todd Boehly the influx and the excitement in the club. But Thomas Tuchel doesn't want Ronaldo, and Todd Boehly till now in this whole window has done what Thomas Tuchel asked him to do. So this is why I do agree Mitrovic is a very, very good player, a player who is disrespected, a player who is not admired, a player who can do a good job for us. But people, I do think that the new ownership is going to back Tuchel, and Tuchel only wants Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now with Fofana deal, people, is just getting drag after drag. People, for information, Chelsea have just reduced their price for Fofana. Now Chelsea have gone down from 80 million to 70 million. And this is where the deal is getting drag as well. But the good news for everyone involved is Fofana is doing everything in his power to move away from Leicester. That's the number 1 factor. And the number 2 factor, people, is regarding this. That Brendan Rodgers has said that the player clearly wants to go and both the clubs are in negotiation to agree the deal for the player. Now, people, being very honest with you, I do think Leicester will sell Fofana for even 70 million. Leicester need money very, very badly. Leicester are struggling in multiple positions. They don't have the money for transfer budget and they will lick your lips for 70 million. The real problem, people, that we don't understand, the media doesn't portray to us, is Leicester are afraid that the replacement for Fofana might cost them a lot of money, because once they get the 70 million for Fofana and they go to the market, the clubs will rinse them of their money. And this is why they want to sort out a replacement before they sell Fofana, or they want Chelsea to offer one of their players to them. Now the problem is, bar Trevor Chalobah, Chelsea already loaned Levy Colwill. So Chelsea have no player to offer. And this is why Leicester are creating a bit of hard price for Chelsea. So to take a bit of anger out on selling Colville on loan to Brighton. So people, being very honest, the deal will happen, and Leicester are only dragging this so that they find a replacement and they do not get rinsed in the market, because they suddenly got a big influx of 70 million from Chelsea Football Club. Now, going to the next news, people, and recapping it, and Fabrizio has said that it's a game of chess that's going on between Barcelona and Chelsea. Chelsea want to reduce the price on the reason that Barcelona is struggling to register players, and this is why Barcelona might agree any fee that Chelsea pay to them, because they want to register Koundé and want to avoid the embarrassment of signing a player and not being able to register them. While Barcelona are of opinion that Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel's system needs striker heavily. Chelsea have already lost 3-0 leads. They are struggling, and this is why they think that their 30 million price is in the right way. Now, people, you know that Memphis Depay deal to Juventus is broken off, and Barca's De Jong saga is dragging. So Barca do need the influx of cash, and I do think, people, as Fabrizio has said, that 20 million could be a fair price. Barca can get the wages reduced and get the 20 million, which can help them register Koundé into the club. And this is why, people, that Frenkie De Jong saga dragging, Barca might just agree to this, and 20 million might be the deal that both the clubs might sign him. And on Aubameyang, he's a very good player, Premier League proven, and he makes some very good movement as well, and he can create a good partnership with Sterling. So, people, I am very, very excited about the prospect of signing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I back my manager as well, so whatever my manager needs, I'll back him, and if that doesn't work, then all the accountability will be on the manager of Chelsea Football Club. Now, going to the next news, people, and the next news is regarding Wilfried Zaha. Now, for the whole summer, we know, people, that Crystal Palace do not want to sell him, because selling him will mean finding a replacement. Now, people, Wilfried Zaha deal for Chelsea is only possible if, let's say, Aubameyang deal falls off and Broha is not a player that Tuchel trusts. That's the only way, people, this deal is possible. Or Hudson Odoi leaves, Ziyech leaves, Chelsea are short on wingers, Gordon deal falls off. That's another way this deal could be on as well. But people, remember, Chelsea want to sign in future Rafael Leao, Christopher Nkunku, and this is why Chelsea are only trying to sign some short-term signings in attack. So this is why Wilfried Zaha is only possible if Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang deal falls off. And on the second part, that Crystal Palace will not sanction the deal. People, I'm telling you right now, if Chelsea do offer them Broha, they will sanction the deal. So, people, this deal rests only for me on one reason, that is Aubameyang deal. If Aubameyang deal happens, Chelsea won't go for Zaha. If Aubameyang deal falls off, Chelsea will go for Zaha. And on my final opinion, people, I do see Aubameyang deal going on and Wilfried Zaha not coming to Chelsea. Now, final opinion on this, I do want Wilfried Zaha over Aubameyang, but I back my manager, I back what he's doing, and even Aubameyang is a very, very good player. I just prefer Zaha because Zaha has more technical ability in him than Aubameyang. But Aubameyang is also going to be a great, great signing for Chelsea. And I respect my manager's choices. I respect what he wants. And this is why, people, I'll back what my manager wants. And Aubameyang is also a great, great player. Now, this is the reason, people, I told you that Aubameyang deal is even more closer to happen. Because Juventus have been unable to sell Memphis Depay. They have been unable to clear a player from the books. They have been unable to clear player wages from the books. And because Xavi wanted at least one of Aubameyang or Depay to stay, now with Aubameyang going to Chelsea and Barca getting fresh 20 million, I think Barca might just let Aubameyang go and keep Depay, clear the books, let Koundé get registered and get some money which they can use until the Frenkie De Jong saga gets resolved for them on the deferred wages part. Now, next news, people, is regarding Rafael Leao and the money he owes and how disastrous his deal could be in terms of money. Because he owes Sporting Lisbon 16.5 million, the club trying to sign him, at least this summer, might have to pay that. Along with that, people, he has a 15% resale clause, which means that AC Milan, if Chelsea sign him, will only get 85% of that particular amount, while 15 of that will go to Lille. This might make AC Milan increase the amount, which could literally mean Chelsea paying over the odds, which doesn't make sense. So, people, Rafael Leao is a player that I think Chelsea are only trying to sign for next summer, and until something big happens, I don't think, people, this has happened or going to happen this window. And Christopher Nkunku player, I've been telling you, is a player that even Roman Abramovich wanted to sign for Chelsea, Marina wanted to sign for Chelsea, and now the new ownership looks like they're continuing on it. Todd Boehly wants to sign Christopher Nkunku, but we all know that the release clause of 60 to 70 million sets in next summer. So people do look out for Christopher Nkunku next summer. And for people who have been wanting Chelsea to sign Zaha, Tony instead of Aubameyang, this is a reason Chelsea are only going for short-term solution Aubameyang, because next year Chelsea are trying to pay big money for Leao or Nkunku, and in future Chelsea want to sign Leao and Nkunku into the attack. So this is why they're only going for short-term solutions right now. The next news, people, was about Sky Italia and Ampadu, and my final opinion on this deal, people, is an absolute disaster. We are struggling for backups. He's still one of the most underrated Chelsea youth prospect, can play multiple positions, is a much better pivot player than Gallagher, because for me, Conor Gallagher is more of a number 8 or an attacker, and letting him go on loan, not having the backup, not giving him a proper chance could be an absolute disaster by Chelsea, and this could turn out to be the next Tomori. But again, I'm not turning this into a big reaction or anger, because I trust my manager, I trust my club, and whatever they do, I'll always back them over any player. But on my final opinion on this, people, it's a disaster by Chelsea, to be honest, because this guy could have done a job for us as a backup as well, and he's very, very talented. So people, that's all the things I've covered for you. Do look out for Champions League content on the video coming up. Do look out for the preview that will be coming out of Leicester City tomorrow, or max by day after tomorrow. FPL content will also be coming up, and a lot more other days, people. So thank you. I hope you have a great day, people who are watching. Please, it just takes one click, people who are watching. Just hit the subscribe button, bell notification button, and you will be always aware of the next video coming out. Please subscribe. It only motivates me to make more videos for you. I hope you have liked today's video. Please subscribe. And overall, the biggest part, hope you are well, hope you are good. And my best wishes are always with you all. Thank you all for watching, and love you all.